SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
I welcome you to a very insightful session with a transformative personality. He is a senior lecturer in Government Polytechnic, Belur. He is a person responsible for turning the sleepy rural landscape around him into an innovation and startup hotspot. He has been instrumental in turning a rural startup of one of his students into a 100 crore company. He is transforming the way India thinks. So without losing any more time, let's meet Dr. Panduranga.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, sir, to begin with, let's get to know something more about you, your background, where you come from, and what have you been doing?
Basically, I'm working as a faculty in Government Polytechnic, Beluru. It is renownedly recognized as a World Heritage Center. Recently, it has recognized by UNESCO. In my earlier days of in the journey of teaching, I was deputed to the Government Engineering College. It is located at Hassan. So there my journey started, sir.
So being a teacher, I mean, you are obviously getting in touch with a lot of students and everyone around you.
Yeah.
So apart from imparting education, apart from teaching, how did you get into this mode of, bringing about transformation then in their thinking, in their psyches, so that, they should turn their mind towards entrepreneurship rather than only being, academics?
Yeah, I well understand the concept behind the teaching. During my journey, when I started to enter as a teacher, I learned from Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. So in the quote called in Kannada, there is a word called Balasade tukkidiyudakkinta balasi saviyude lesu. So it means that without using, if it is get rusted, rather than that, use and make it more sharper. So in that manner, I understood that the intensity or a role of a teacher by visiting a few student houses, what is their background like economical status and how their parents are cultivating their mindset for their journey, what their dreams. I understand the aspiration of the parents and the responsibility of a teacher. So in that journey, I understood that if a teacher motivate in a good manner, we can create n number of Sir M. Vishveshwaraya in our nation. Even my aspiration or my goal is bringing multiple Nobel Prize by motivating the student so that the India re-recognize itself as a role model to the world. In that case, I started my journey and motivating many number of students. Yeah.
Right. So aspiring for Nobels for India is indeed a very noble thought.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So when you actually started talking to the people about this, when you actually started to, kind of put this idea into their mind, so was there any resistance or was there anything which was not really going positive for you, or were people very receptive to the change? How did it happen?
So when I was assigning some of the activities to my student, there was a resistance like their financial status are not that much good enough. So partially I was also sponsoring a part of the project what I was assigned for them. And I myself as a young fellow during those days, 10 years back, during that time I always involved with their activity. I become like a student friendly and as a young student. So rather than a teacher, I evolved them or I become friend in such a way that they treated me as a senior rather than a teacher. They treated me as a senior. During that journey, I enjoyed the teaching. I become like a second time student along with my students.
So basically they were able to put their faith in you. They were able to, kind of relate with you. So that is the journey that you took.
Yeah.
So interesting. So now I think let's get back to the what I said in the beginning.
Yeah.
You transformed a company of your student
Yes.
from like 0 to 100 crores.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Like tell us something about that journey.
Yeah, if I go to the slide, so the student are having a high energy or a potential to do some creative work. I found that few student are even today the drone is came, no? 10 years back, our student are trying to design a drone. I collected some of the information from the internet during those days, and I given some task to them. So they are adequate. They are also gone through the internet and other resources, and they have done a small drone kind of things those days with that existing technology. Then that has been motivated them to work on some motor technology. Now that leads to do the R&D in that one, and now they have got around 5 patents. So this is the journey started.
So like how was the growth? Like how did that growth happen?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a support did you lend to them?
So initially, at the beginning stage, from the student life to the entrepreneur. So initially they have recognized by the faculties what they have done for the, and one police department came to us, means that project is recognized by the police department. Basically, it is like a robot. So 10 years back, it is the robot which can understand the speech. The speech command are given. Based on that, it is possible to turn left or right. That kind of thing done by our student. So later stage, they have registered to a company called as Geeks Energy. So that has been blessed by our principal over there, the sir name called as a Karisiddappa. So he has just retired Vice Chancellor now in Karnataka VTU Belgaum. And their blessings, they have started with a company called as a Geeks Energy. I referred to one company. They are basically in the field of textile industry. We heard that a jacquard and a punched card, zeros and ones. So I have given the task by connected to the small industry. That is the first project what they got on my reference. Based on my faith on me, the industry is able to provide a small project to them that has given a good success for them. So their capability or in the confidence with them, it was a wonderful, and they have then due to their faith, they have started their journey. On the later years, they participated in a Intel Innovate India competition. Out of 1,700 odd company, they have listed in top 500. Again, they have become top 100 company. They have listed in the top 100 company. And then again, the competition was carried out. During that time, they have selected for top 50. Again, the competition, they up to top 20. Then the later stages, they have selected for the top 10. So that time, they got a chance to stand with the president to get a photo session with them. So it was a pride moment for them as well as me. As I joined as a goal of a teacher, make our student to recognize globally, at least nationally. That has been happened. That given me a more satisfaction in my journey.
Great, wonderful to hear that, sir.
Yeah.
And we've heard that you've done a lot of instrumental work in the area of textiles.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell us something about that.
Basically, my family is from weaver family. So from that one, I got some of the like how to weave and what is the patience to be handled with those kind of sensitive work. And also there is an involvement of creativity in that one. So I mold my student go in that direction so that they are able to understand the hard work behind that, and so they got a patience and they decided to having a plan to contribute something to the nation. So thereby their journey has got the very root level confidence and the goal to the national level or international level.
Right. So, how do you think more people like you can come forward and help the people living in the rural areas which don't have access to much of the infrastructure, much of the facilities, to motivate them
Yes.
to think or to have entrepreneurial dreams? How can we do that?
As my experience, at the initial stage of everybody, they will face a lot of difficulties during their journey. So myself, I partially, with my own decision, partially part of a salary has been dedicated for these kind of activity, so that I'm happy with by seeing their effort as well as they're happy. I'm very much satisfaction. In that sense, any teacher can handhold the student, because as we are the student, some teachers has been handholded us also. In that concern, I was suggesting to all the teachers, if we handhold our student, definitely they will create a lot of challenging work. They are able to achieve, because new generation having their own creativity. They are better than us. I suggest to handhold our student.
So, sir, one sense I would like to have from you, that in our rural areas or villages, what is the quality of work that you see, or what is the quality of talent that we have, which is which can actually make a difference? So, as compared to the urban centers or the places where, I mean, you have all kind of facilities available, all kind of institutions available. As compared to those centers, I mean, our rural centers, how are they doing in terms of having good talent?
When already we know that word necessity is a mother of invention. So in the rural area, there is lot of creativity. We have to recognize them, and we must give a small complex problem to the student to make them to work on it. And later stages, they will come up with some solution, and what is their barrier, we can observe from that one. And then with the known resources, maybe from the alumni funds, or maybe the faculty, or maybe some donors from the institution, or maybe the society. So there are a few challenges in the rural area, actually the society is facing. If we are able to give a small improvement in solving the issues in the society, that will lead a lot of confidence to the student. So thereby we can grab financial assistance even from the society. That will help in their beginning journey.
So what do you think institutions, be it government or private, what contribution they should be making to help this one area which is often neglected one, rural belts, which has, as you say, have a lot of talent, but are somehow not able to come up. So what kind of help should our institutions, government or private, should be providing to these people?
So as similar to as NEP says, or StartUp says, some of the funds, like at least 1% of overall budget of an institution, has to be reserved for this kind of activities, innovation kind of thing. So similarly, in a rural case, if the taluka or a district administration can reserve 1% of total budget of that district, can be helpful for this kind of activity, then we can leave a landmark or a footprint in the next journey of to bring the Nobel Prize to the nation. In that way, there is a need for emergency fund, similar that kind, the fund for the innovation, for especially in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. There is definitely need.
So you once again mentioned that dream of yours, bringing Nobel to India. So what makes you think that we are close to that, or it is very much achievable? And how do you think this panning out in the coming few years?
As NEP says, there must be a multidisciplinary kind of things. So the inspiration, the drive for me is, the Sir M. Visvesvaraya is not only a civil engineer, he is worked as a MBA or a as a Karnataka, that Kannada, development of Kannada scripts and all those things. And he brought, as an educationist, he brought the Mysore University to Karnataka, and he worked like an electrical engineer to bring Shivamogga, that is the light what we are observing in Karnataka. So in that manner, if we work similar to, if we followed Sir M. Vishwesvaraya or the Abdul Kalam sir, so in that way, if a teacher collaborate with other fields, if it is a multidisciplinary, definitely we are able to achieve that. We have the potential. We have to look back, revisit to our own ancient mythology, or maybe the journey what they have traveled during their success. So in that kind, we can say that I am sure that we can motivate the student and young generation. Even the age is not a limit. Even the age-old person can also be involved or a mentor those student. So we need the hand-hold support from the government.
So, sir, it will be very interesting to know the journey in terms of valuation.
Yeah.
Going from, a very, very basic level valuation, it went to right up to 100 crores. How did that jump in valuation took place? What happened? What was the magic portion?
Yeah, initially they started with a company called as a Geeks Energy. So now that company has valuation up to the 10 crore. So after their journey, after having an experience of entrepreneurship, so they started one more company called as a Staria company. So in this Staria company, so one chartered accountant as involved as a co-founder, along with a multidisciplinary like a mechanical engineer and an electronics engineer, and with an experience of software development. They have started on working on retrofit electric vehicle. Okay. In that, they able to get the patent, around 5 patents they got, indigenous patents. And then, so that they have participated and presented their work in front of some expos, and that has been given a lot of boom. Later stages, there was some few articles in the newspaper about their innovations and those things, and few voluntary investors are approached them. So, and maybe 2 years back, the Japan company, they approached the Staria company to invest, to expand their production capability. So they have invested around 15 crore. So after investing that, the venture capital investment come together. Now it is valuating around 107 crore. Yes, sir.
So going by the success of this particular company,
Yeah.
so what advice do you have for other such startups? I mean, what right things they can do to achieve a similar kind of success?
So one thing, while choosing a startup, there should be a theme. What is the purpose of the startup? If they have to solve some social issues, they have to focus on particular either one or two, deeply gaining the knowledge on their area, and they should know their strength and weaknesses, and how can they collaborate with the other startup or those who have already crossed the journey in the startup. So then they can achieve the better goals.
So that's a wonderful thing to know from you. I mean, obviously, people should take a cue from such successes and such mentors.
Yes.
So, sir, to end this conversation, I would really like to understand from you or know from you.
Yeah.
What next? What are your future goals? Where do you see yourself and the ecosystem around you from, say, a few years from now or a few decades from now?
Yeah. So now India needs to work on multidisciplinary, like bringing educationists or bringing engineers and farmers, pharmacists to the table. In a single table, there should be a conversation between the doctors, medical practitioner, and an engineer. What were the problems? To reduce the import and to increase the export. If that happens, there is a need to bringing multi-talents into same table. That conversation is needed.
I mean, true, absolutely right, sir. I mean, NEP 2020 is actually showing us the way.
Yes.
Multidisciplinary approach is the way forward, which is actually going to reap huge dividends for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone agrees that we have to adopt it very aggressively, and that is really going to show us, better days.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us today, sir. And thank you so much for sparing time, and not only time, your wisdom as well as your thoughts on the entrepreneurial ecosystem of the country. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best and keep doing the good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
People like Dr. Panduranga are the real change makers. People like him are our best hope for the goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. Let's not only encourage them and their work, but also follow their footprints to make our society better and prosperous.